Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Abdullah Patel English High School and DRT Junior College. Today we are going to start by our chapter subject history, chapter number 11. That is India Transform Part 1. Let's start by our chapter. Now, before starting by the chapter, I would like to say you give the introduction of the chapter. Chapter is divided between 9 subtopics. Today we are going to cover up by the 4 subtopic, that is globalization. 11.2 is again divided into 3. Transformation is various field, that is rural development plans, urban development plans, means of communication. 11.3 is economic issues, and 11.4 is BRICS. Okay, so let's start by the introduction part, that is globalization. Now, here after the Second World War, because of the declining trade, nations came together and decided to form an organization to solve the problem related to international trade. A legal agreement was signed by the nation known as GATT, that is General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade. It was the first multinational trade agreement. An annual meeting of the member countries of GATT was held to discuss the problem in international trade. Later, GATT became a part of larger organization known as World Trade Organization. So this is there in GATT. As we've already discussed about the Cuba, a meeting was held in Cuba to discuss this problem, which was attended by 56 nations. It was decided to establish a permanent organization to resolve the problem related to international trade. A legal agreement was signed in Geneva by 23 nations on 30th October 1947, which was known as GATT. Okay, so I hope you understand what is GATT. Now, starting by the World Trade Organization, means GATT was converted into World Trade Organization. WTO was set up with the objective of opening the world free for free trade. It emphasizes on liberalization. India also became a member of WTO, and this helped in accelerating its economic progress. On 1st January 1995, 123 nations together found an organization with the objective of opening the world for free trade. It was called World Trade Organization. It's a global trade organization and India is a member of it. Arthur Dunkel. I hope the picture is visible to you people. Arthur Dunkel, he was the Director General of WTO World Trade Organization, who prepared a draft which has been fundamental to the establishment of the organization. This draft is known as Dunkel draft, as it was published by him. The crux of this draft emphasis on the trade free from governmental custom duties and other restriction, means government will not interfere in any of the matter related to trade. This approach is known as liberalization. All participating countries agreed upon a set of rules and premise common to all that would promote international trade. Initially, provisions were made in the spheres of grants, export, import, foreign investment, reverse sector, agriculture, technology, and service sector. So, this was the sector where the provision were talked about. After becoming a member of WTO, India put trust on economic progress. Means now India want economically to be progressed. In this aspect, the contribution of the then Prime Minister of India, Narasimha Rao, and Finance Minister Manmohan Singh is very important. As you people have listened, I hope the name of Narasimha Rao and Manmohan Singh, who was the finance minister at the time. Okay, they have played a very important role in this matter. Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee and Manmohan Singh took ahead the policy of liberalization. The report published by WTO in 2006 had made a special mention of increasing economic growth rate of India, growth in investment, fall in the ratio of population below poverty line, fall in infant mortality rate, increasing availability of facility for literacy, potable water and drainage system in India are also mentioned in this report by them. By adopting ways like simplifying import rules, modifying laws regarding rights on intellectual property, modifying patent laws, India entered the global economy. So this was the step which has taken place by our Prime Minister, Finance Minister and President. Okay. Now moving further to the transformation in various fields. Now over here Transformation in various fields happened in India. Various development plans were undertaken by the government. Rural government development plans were implemented so that there would be a balanced development between rural and urban areas. The various schemes launched by the government to create employment opportunities are Pradhan Mantri Rozgar Yojana, Kisan Credit Card Plan, सुवर्ण जयंती ग्रामीण स्वयं रोजगार योजना जवाहर ग्राम समृद्धि योजना संपूर्ण ग्रामीण रोजगार योजना राष्ट्र ग्रामीण रोजगार हमी योजना. This we are going to study in detail further. Then agriculture and livestock. To transform the agriculture sector, the scheme and the program launched by the government are as follows. The Soil Health Card Scheme, Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchan Yojana, Krishi Vikas Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Vyam Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Peak Vyam Yojana, Agriculture Exhibition, Research Program on Goat, Establishment of National Livestock Mission. Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana, it was started with the objective of building roads to link villages. So this was a transformation in various fields. Rural development plans. So as we have already discussed about these several plans, what was the rural development plan? The plan that are being implemented in the present are mostly augmentation of the plan that were already operational. Sometimes earlier plans were merged in new plans also. To create employment opportunity for an ever increasing population is a major challenge for the government. So these were the plans which we have already discussed. So the first one is Pradhan Mantri Rozgar Yojana. Rozgar means employment. So to create job opportunity for educated youth, the Ministry of Commerce and Industry of the Government of India started a plan on 2nd October 1993. This plan was meant for creating opportunities for job and private enterprise. Pradhan Mantri Rozgar Yojana and Rozgar Hami Yojana were started on the birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi, that is on 2nd of October. Rozgar Hami Yojana was to ensure daily wages to the unemployed agricultural laborers. There are days when employment of any kind is not available to agricultural laborers. The objective of this plan was to provide wage earning opportunity. Wage means salary. Earning opportunity who were in search of it. Initially, this plan was launched in 257 districts of India. A goal was set to provide work to 2 young laborers in each family below poverty line. In 2001, this plan was merged in Gramin, that is Rural Rozgar Yojana. In 1998, with a view to provide support to farmers in difficult times, Kisan Credit Card Plan was started. It was also intended to help farmers to avail funds for essential equipment and seed for cultivation. Means all the funds will be given by the government. Later, an insurance facility was also offered to farmers. Means in case anything happened to farmer, so who will be responsible person? So for farmers, they have also started keeping insurance. Okay, they offered insurance facility who were Kisan credit card holders. Next was Suvarn Jayanti Gramin Swayam Rozgar Yojana. Now this plan was launched or started in the year 1999, and the plan was started by merging the various plans together, namely Ekatmik Gramik Vikas Yojana, Self-Employment Training Program for Rural Youth, Program for Rural Women and Children, Distribution of Modern Equipment to Rural Artisans, Ganga Kalyan Yojana, and plan to dig 10 lakh wells, etc. In 2005-6, there were 12 lakh 7,000 beneficiaries of Suvarn Jayanti Gramin Swayam Rozgar Yojana. Next is Jawahar Graham Samruddhi Yojana. Now this has started in the year 1999. According to this, new plan was implemented with the intention to provide adequate employment for the unemployed man and woman. In 2001, it was merged in a plan known as Sampurna Gramin Rozgar Yojana. Now, what was happened in Sampurna Gramin Rozgar Yojana? Now, this plan was launched by merging together Rozgar Ashwasan Yojana. Means furthermore, Rozgar Yojana was merged in this. This plan made provision for creating opportunity in rural areas of earning wages to provide food grains in exchange of work. Means while they were working, they were getting the grains. They were not getting the amount or the salary or the money. They were getting grains in exchange of their work what they have provided. So in the year 2004, the scheme was giving food grains in the exchange of work was started in 150 districts in the country, which were economically most backward villages. Okay, measures like water conservation over there was done. Development of agricultural land were given priority to overcome situation of famine. In 2006, the scheme was merged in Rashtriya Gramin Rozgar Hami Yojana. Now, Rashtriya Gramin Rozgar Hami Yojana. Now here the government of India has launched a scheme on national level to eradicate economic disparity, poverty, starvation and unemployment in rural area, India. Each family in rural area was given assurance of at least 100 days work, means they will be getting work at least for 100 days. Till 2008 this scheme was started in about 350 districts. Then agriculture and livestock. Along with the nation transformation, agriculture sector is also getting transformed. According to 2011 census, 54% of the total population in India is engaged in agriculture and agro-related sector. The Soil Health Card scheme aims at increasing the soil fertility and agriculture production. Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sanchay Yojana envisaged in giving priority to adequate water supply for agriculture and irrigation facility on larger scale. Means there is again facility for farmers only for agriculture as well as for livestock also, means for animals also. Means if they are having any kind of problem, so government is ready to give a helping hand to them. Krishi Vikas Yojana aims at organic cultivation and increase in the farmers' income. Means they just want to increase the farmers' income so as economic instability, which is really the farmers are reeling under, should be gone away. Pradhan Mantri Bima Yojana is implemented for the economic welfare of the farmer. More emphasis is given on the fields like animal husbandry, dairy, fisheries, agricultural research and education. Focus on developing agriculture, cooperative establishment and farmer welfare are the three main themes of the development program. As I already talked to you, the main thing was agriculture, cooperative establishment means like dairies and all, and farmer welfare. These were the three main intentions they were having that they should be developed. In 2007, a national policy for farmer was adopted. Gradually, the result of all the program implemented for the agriculture sector are becoming apparent. If there is a crop failure because things like natural calamities, pesticides, epidemics, adverse climate, etc. If this natural problem took place, so the farmer get compensations for this. The insurance was done. Pradhan Mantri Peak Bima Yojana. Research Institute of Agriculture Science were supported through this Indian Council for Agricultural Research. Agriculture exhibition are organized with the objective of introducing the farmer to latest technology. Means as the farmers were using the older traditional technology, okay, agricultural activity. So farmers were given the new technological lessons that how to use the latest technology and how they will save their time. The new agriculture experiment and research, indigenous seeds and indigenous breed of cattle is given priority. Research programs on goat were conducted on pan-India level. Goat keeping, that is Sehli Palan, is encouraged as an occupation for enhancing the life standard of tribal people over there. It has largely become their principal source of livelihood. In rural areas, poultry farming of indigenous variety was encouraged. Thus, India is making significant progress, means important progress, in the fields of animal husbandry, dairy and milk production, fisheries, livestock. Okay, means everywhere Indian villages are progressing only because due to the efforts of our government, what the effort the government has taken for the rural people. Okay, now not only in livestock but also in poultry, meat and wool production also. Ours is a leading country in milk production, means only our country is there which is giving a lot many of milk production. Okay, we are having a success ratio in milk production. The National Livestock Mission was established in 2014 and 15, and since then there is a rapid growth in the livestock sector as we have started keeping attention over to our livestock, so there is a rapid growth. This mission provides for availability of fodder, loan organizing the cattle keepers and resolving their difficulties. In 1919-20, means this year, The first livestock census was conducted. Since then, it is being done regularly. The 2012 livestock census was 19 in the series. China ranked the first in fish production, while India ranked the second. Fishing has been an important occupation in India, which is now supplemented with fish farming, that is pisciculture. This sector is growing rapidly, means when the farmers have engaged in doing fishery, so over there they are getting benefit, and as they are benefiting, so our country is also developing. Next is Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana. Sadak means road. Okay, so Government of India is having importance over roads also in the good condition in the interior areas, which was started by Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana in the year 2000. Initially, the work of building roads began by linking the villages of population strength up to 1000. In 2001, this program was merged in Pradhan Mantri Gramodaya Yojana. The road measuring up to 75,000 km were completed till 2005. The purpose of this work was to extend the benefits of the country, economic growth to people living in rural areas, and to bring transformation in their life. Means the villages people should travel from one place to another. They should travel from villages to the urban areas, so as they will come to know about the importance of the rural life and the urban life, the differences between the lives. They will come to know about the changes, what the changes has been made up. Technological advances will be came in front of them. Okay, so this was the main aim, that rural people can come over here. It aimed at providing amenities for good health, education, drinking water, developing roads and electricity. So this was the main aim of the Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana. Now starting by the next topic, that is 11 subtopic 2, urban development plans. We have completed by the rural one. Now we are starting by the urban development plans. Now here JNNRM, that is Jawaharlal Nehru, okay, uh, launch for massive modernization of the cities. Golden Quadrilateral Swarna Chatuksakon Yojana, a national highway network to join the mega cities of Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, and Kolkata. Delhi Metro, above ground and underground railway, which facilitates speedy and smooth transit, was done. This was launched as Jawaharlal Nehru National Urban Renewal Mission was launched in the year 2005. Okay, so this was the thing, the modernization of the city, building big roads, public transport, water disposal and management system, sewage disposal system, housing for the poor. This was the main aim of the JNNRM. Then the Golden Quadrilateral, so that is Swarna Chatuksan Yojana. Now, this happened in the year 1998, and as India announced a program of creating national highway network to join the four megacities which were there. Yes, Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, and Kolkata. And the National Highway Authority of India is managing this project. This project aimed at tasks like developing two highways about 7,300 km in length, linking all the four quarters of the countries to provide rapid transportation to important port cities in the country. The program progressed rapidly by completing one-fourth of the total length of the highway till 2008. So there is a success rate of connecting the big four cities, that is Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, and Kolkata. Next is Metro Railway. Now here the Delhi Metro Railway was flagged off in 2002. Metro Railway running above and underground has introduced a major change in the public transport system of the metropolises of India. It facilitates speedy and smooth transit. Now the next topic is 2.3, that is means of communication, which is the most important one. So the first is postal departments. Postal Department has undergone total reformation by entering in the field of banking. Many post offices bought under core banking solutions. ATM were installed in various branches. The service of Speed Post has also changed the nature of postal services. The Postal Department has also started the delivery of Ganges water. Ganga River, remember? I hope you have listened. Okay, so that Ganga water, Ganga Jal, is also delivered by Postal Department. It has also started special scheme for philatelist. Okay. It has also introduced various schemes like postal saving accounts, term deposit, public provident fund, Kisan Vikas Patra, Sukanya Samruddhi account, and so on. So improve its services in all. 23,557 postal offices were brought under core banking solution till 2018. Okay, so these were the things that post department has made changes in their. It is a unit trust of India. The postal department is also offering money transfer services to non-resident Indians also. Now, starting by the speed post, the service of speed post changed the very nature of Indian postal service. The service started in the year 1986. Many people take advantage of this service as it has returned to more than 3 crores of letters and parcels being delivered every month. I am talking about month. In a month, 3 crores of letter were parcel. The post department sent a message of successful delivery on the mobile phone of the sender. This facility has made the speed post service more reliable. Means when people have sent their parcels or their letters, so they will get a message that we have already delivered whatever you have asked to us to deliver. Okay, in addition, the postal department now offers courier services like delivery of passport, business parcel, cash on delivery, logistic, post and air freights. Earlier, if anybody want to post letters or gifts, articles, etc. on a larger scale, the tasks like putting the letters in envelopes or packaging of the gift article, the sender had to do them personally. Now the post office offers the packaging service also at extra charges. Okay, they take the charges for that for the packaging. This has increased the business of postal department. There are 1,55,000 post offices which are offering services like paying various bills, sending festive greetings cards and similar objects. So this is the one way of earning the money and making our economy strong. The postal department has also started a very novel services 2016 of delivering Ganga water. Already I have explained you Ganga Jal at personal addresses from Rishikesh and Gangotri. Along with it, facility like buying personalized postage stamp with a personal photograph, buying newly issued postage stamp at a philatelic center. Special scheme for philatelists are available at post shop open at 80 post offices. So this is also happened nowadays. The postal department is also concerned with the requirement of philately. Philately is a valued hobby at international level. Special limited issues of artistic postage stamp are published by the postal department. In the year from April 2017 to March 2018, the postal department published 50 issues of postage stamp based on various themes. It included a subject like Meghalaya caves, rare Indian birds, Ramayana, Mahabharat, Indian cuisine, winning design of nest from a children's competition, heritage architectural well, for example, Rani Ki Vav, hand fence. This is Rani Ki Vav. This can be seen on your notes also. Yes, on our Indian currency. Okay. Hand fence, solar system, Indian headgates, sanitary of the Champaran Satyagraha, etc. This all thing is also seen on the postal stamps. So the postal stamp of Ramayana were distributed in 40 countries through the Indian embassies. Okay, as it has an important impact on the other people. So this is the work of Indian postal system to earn the money and to make our economy strong. Now starting by the next topic, that is 11.3, economic issue. Now what is economic issue over here? So the government of India established Ministry of Disinvestment to take care of the withdrawal of government investment in public sector. The policies of privatization, liberalization and globalization were adopted, which helped to boost the confidence of Indian companies. Now these policies were adopted, but why? What was the reason of adopting? To have increasement or to boosting the confidence of Indian companies. BRICS was established with an aim of enhancing trade among these countries. So we are having an example over here, that is Ministry of Disinvestment. So the government of India established a separate Ministry of Disinvestment to take care of its disinvestment policy. This is the gradual withdrawal of government investment in public sector. The government is focused. Okay, I hope you know public and private sector. You know the difference of public and private sector, right? So government do not want to invest in public sector. Okay. The government is focusing on reducing its investment in the sector like mining, petroleum refineries, road and highway, port, trust, telecommunication, and foreign investment in this sector are now permitted. Now they are permitting it. The policy of privatization, liberalization, and globalization, popularly known as Khwaja, boosted the confidence of Indian companies, and some of them establishing themselves in global market by acquiring foreign companies in the steel, pharmaceuticals, tea productions, and also automobile sectors. Okay, so in 2016, the Ministry of Disinvestment was renamed as Department of Investment and Public Assets Management. Okay, this name has been changed because actually that it was not the Ministry of Disinvestment, it was investing. It has changed its motive, so it was renamed as Department of Investment and Public Assets Management. Means the main motive was that no one should be harmed or no one should be get lost. Okay, next topic is 11.4. Fourth topic is BRICS. Now over here, this organization was established in the year 2006. Its name is formed by adopting the first letter of the name of the participant countries. So who are the participant countries? Yes, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. BRICS. B for Brazil, R for Russia, I for India, C for China, S for South Africa. So these were the participant member of BRICS. Now what was the aim? Why this BRICS was established? So the main aim which enhanced was trade among these countries. BRICS were having trade relationship. So the 11th conference of BRICS was organized in Brazil. The theme of this conference was economic growth for an innovative future. Subjects like technological cooperation, technology and innovation, digital economy, international crime, financial scams were discussed. Means important topics were discussed in the 11th conference of BRICS, which was held in the country of Brazil. Okay, so here I would like to end by our topic today. 11.5, that is the fifth subtopic. Inshallah, I am going to start in the next video. Till then, stay at home, stay safe. Thank you so much